Hey everyone, happy holidays. I'm recording this right now at the night of the 23rd. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve, so I hope you guys are all doing well. Wanted to do a different type of video today, a video I've been thinking about doing for honestly over a year. I always thought someone should do this, and now that the Lane Kiffin saga has kind of died out a little bit, and the staff has been completely filled out with the news of Sterling Lucas and Kevin Smith being official, wanted to make a video on something near and dear to my heart, which is TigerDroppings. So, I'm pretty much everyone on this channel, if you watch this, obviously an LSU fan, so you probably already know what TigerDroppings is, but I don't know if you live and breathe it like I do. I have been a absolute skunk on this site, living in the filth that is TigerDroppings since I think I made it in 2021. I've always been lurking since my sophomore year at LSU, but I think I officially joined and made an account right in the days leading up to O being officially let go. Yeah, Tiger Job is dear to my heart. I'm on this thing like 5 out of 7 days a week. It's like built into my work schedule. I always work, do like an hour of work, make a coffee, and then drink my coffee and go through Tiger Droppings. It's the craziest message board. I've tried to find other message boards for my other teams, but there's nothing that compares to Tiger Droppings. So I've always thought for people that don't go on Tiger Droppings, there needs to be like a compilation weekly of some of the most ridiculous best/worst threads. And looking for content in this holiday season since I'll be out of town and this will probably be the last day I can make anything. Did the stream yesterday with Zach Nunez, but put together 3 threads and a couple replies that really, I think, encapsulate the beauty or disgrace that is Tiger Droppings. I just kind of want to go through them today. But yeah, let's get straight into it, trying to make it not too long of a video. Thread number 1. This will be about men's basketball. So one thing before I get into this thread, you can obviously see the title. There's a big men's basketball and Tiger Droppings is like a civil war. You're either a McMen, you're McMen, that doesn't even make sense. You're either grouped into the McMen, which means like you hold out any support for the men's basketball program since they let Will Wade go, or you're just like a Will Wade fanatic. I personally will try to draw in the middle line. Like I obviously miss Will Wade, but I also hold out some hope for Matt McMahon. But that doesn't exist on Tiger Droppings. It's north or south. You're either on this side or the other, and it is very contentious. I don't think there's another issue on the ramp that even comes close to as tumultuous as this is. It's really quite something. People get so mad at each other, and this thread signifies it. So, as you can see here, thread is titled, I guess Prairie View A&M has more Mick NIL money than we do for basketball. Now, this is going to be a classic thing that the Will Wade supporters, diehards, are always good. They put Mick in front of everything. It's like a troll job. It's kind of funny. I get it, but and as you see in the description, like men are very quiet right now. Now, let me tell you why this is so ridiculous. So this was posted, I think, right before halftime of the men's basketball game yesterday when we were losing at one point to Prairie View A&M. But I was watching it while I was streaming. They literally were just making every single shot. And they had a kid from Scotlandville, which is like local Baton Rouge type high school. And it was like his legacy game. I think he ended with like 33 or 34 points. He went off. It's just one of those things. Basketball's one of those sports. Teams can just get hot, even if they're way worse than you. They can keep it a game. Plus, you ended up winning by like 10 or 15, score over 100 points. So this shows you how ridiculous this is. And as you can see, 23 likes to 55 downvotes. Important thing is someone who posts on Tiger Droppings occasionally, you really want to have a good like to dislike ratio. That really gives you pride in what you posted. So this is kind of up in the air, but obviously more to the downside. And I will say in the last month, there's been a big push for the big men as the men's basketball program has gotten a little more success than maybe some people expected to start the year. But one thing to point out, and I'm going to point this out as we continue to go along in this, one of the great things about Tiger Droppings really is I don't think it's made up of people my age. I'm 24. When I was in college, I was one of few people that I knew that had an account on here in school. And out of everyone, I think I was the only guy that was like living and breathing and going on it every single day. But you're going to find that a lot of people on here are old. Like, and the best feature about Tiger Droppings is it says when you join and how many posts you have. And that carries a lot of credence on the site. So like anything else, there's a lot of like weird unwritten rules in Tiger Droppings, like how you have respect and stuff. But it'll make, if you don't know, it'll make sense as we go on. But as you can see, this is what he said. I don't even think this is halftime of the game, by the way. So this was the first comment under it by Tigers BB since 2012, by the way. with over 12,000 posts. You despicable and deplorable fuck, I think you meant and. You despicable and deplorable fucks have just lived for this moment, haven't you? Like I said, this is a very tumultuous. The McMahon versus Will Wade crowd. It is. I don't think it'll ever die. If McMahon gets fired, I think year after year will we still be having these arguments on TigerDroppings. But fire out of the gate. And you can see 27 like the 10 down. But like I said, a year ago, this would have been flipped. OP, the original poster, he would have had all the likes because people were loving the shit on McMahon because of how bad the men's basketball program is without giving fair judge to McMahon on the resources he was given. But, it's a message board. No one wants to hear that. It comes back to original poster. I don't know, but I can guarantee you that the average pair-view A&M player has a higher IQ than you. As you can see, 42 to 17 has a good like ratio. He probably felt good about posting that. If I posted something, I would feel very good with that like to dislike ratio. And then original poster comes back here with a real doozy to respond to some of these guys. I'm rooting for McFraud. See, the MC thing is they insert it everywhere. It's pretty crazy. I'm rooting for McFraud, but it's year 4. We have 0 tourney appearances during his tenure and have been bottom of the league every year. And now we're losing to a 4-6 Prairie View A&M team. Just want to hear what excuses y'all have come up with this time. Like I said, this would be one thing if we actually lost the game. I don't even think it was halftime when this guy posted this. And like I said, we would go on to win this game handily. Yeah, pretty ridiculous response here. Lake City Tiger comes back. He quotes the part of that previous message. He says, I'm rooting for McFraud. Sure you are, ... And that is so cute, ... Definitely speaks of a higher IQ. Shouldn't you be cooking up some crack there in Jonesville? Hey, that's sidebar, man. Shout out to Jonesville, man. Well, I'm not going to stand up for that. I'm not going to let that hate slide. I would go on the rant and clap back with Lake City Tiger for that. But that's a stray that y'all didn't deserve. Oh, that really sums up an important division in the rant. Thread 2, I picked this one out because this is something I see all the time. I'll say this. I've been a member of like the On3 Bengal Tiger message board for a hot second. I've been a member of Tiger Bait, their message board. What you're going to see here in thread number 2 is just something you're not going to see better or worse on any of these other paid forums. Like, there's just something about TigerDroppings being free where people just post like the dumbest, sloppiest thing. It's just hilarious. I think they do it because it riles a lot of these people up. Like I said, I feel like a lot of these people are older guys, 30s, 40s, 50s. I mean, remember at one point last year, there was someone who was like, said they were 70 something years old on the forum. Like, that's crazy for a message board. I'll read this the way I would imagine this poster, E.G. BDF did. I think his is a spam account because you'll see only been a member since November of this year. He only has 5 points, and he titled this thread "This Time Next Year." And bear with me, I'm going to try to do it in the way I think he wants you to read it. Tigers roar, are you listening? In the lane, snow is kiffing. A beautiful sight. We'll be happy that night, walking in a winter's wonderland. Now, you might be thinking, oh, that's kind of clever, No, look at that like to dislike ratio. That is not what you want to see. I have a sneaky suspicion this was a sneaky troll job, which I do respect. But let's get into some of the comments here. First one, gay. Yeah. And you can see that's a great like to dislike ratio on that 40 to 5. You can't beat that. So Mark the Tiger, look, and this is what I think is so funny. This is why I wanted to point this one out, is look at when he created his account. August of 2005. I'm 24. I was born in 2001. How old is Mark the Tiger here? Just throwing out gay instantly after this was posted. But he had to be thrilled with this post. 40 likes to 5 dislikes. The rant was liking it. Bottom 9 here. And back to the Will Wade McMahon thing. Will Wade in the profile picture. You're going to see this all the time on the rant. But bottom 9, who's been a member since July 2010, so that you can imagine his age here. If you had properly been bullied in school, this post wouldn't exist. Bring bullying back. Now, we can imagine if this guy was born in 2010, or not born, excuse me. He's been a poster, created his account in 2010. Wait, this is a 30, 40-year-old guy saying this? Like, this is incredible stuff. Moving on here. Broken Arrow, member since 2007 with almost over 8,000 posts. He quotes poem thing, and he makes a poem of his own, but it kind of goes awry here at the end. Hope you choke on a bluebird. You're as clever as a cat turd. Your song really sucked, so you'd better duck. Lots of downvotes headed your way. Kind of loses the rhyming at the end, which I think really hurts his like to dislike ratio here. Probably wants that one back if I had to guess. He did all the work until the very end. So hate to see that, but like I said, you're not gonna see. Let me go back to the original post. You're not gonna see a type of post like this on one of these forums where you have to pay money month over month. Like no one's gonna do that on the Bengal Tiger or Tiger Bait. So wanted to put that one in there because I thought it was a very unique one to the rant, and it's something you see this crap all the time. And I think, technically, it probably was a troll job to rile the people up, but when you're dealing with a lot of 30, 40, 50-year-olds, it is quite easy to rile these guys up, which it's all the entertainment. I love it. But this is the thread of the day. And this one absolutely takes the cake and really dates a lot of the users on TigerDroppings because, I mean, this one was crazy. So, as you can see here, the title of this thread was Landry and Wit Plus. And he says, "Is this true? Question mark. They had a child question mark on Facebook. So this has to be true, right?" So when I saw this, I thought this would kind of like the last thread. Like, this is obviously he's trying to troll everyone, especially when he said on Facebook, so this has to be true, right? And let's take a look at these pictures here. It's two pictures of Witt and Landry, the power couple of LSU right now, taking over from Livy Dunn and Paul Skeens. But this one in the bottom left corner, if you're not too old, stay with me here, is so obviously AI. One, they've only been dating like 3 months, I think. There's never been any pictures of Landry being pregnant, so not sure what went through your head there, Bayou. But also, if they had a kid, why is Witt in full scrubs? I saw someone else point this out. I don't have any kids, but I don't. Is that a thing? I don't think so. I thought this was a troll job, like just kind of showing like, hey, this is a joke that's on Facebook. Here's the thing about TigerDroppings. You can post something and then edit it. But one of the great things they do is if you edit it, TigerDroppings will put in the post that you edited. So you can see you're posted at 7:37 p.m. And then there's this thing at the bottom here. And something people do on TigerDroppings is if they edit it, they'll usually stick at the bottom of what they posted, is what it is. He says, AI actually says fake. I was going to thank him for his efforts getting lane here. And as you can see, this post was edited at 7:42. So in a 5-minute stretch, IU realizes that this is AI. And let's use context clues here. Let's go back to my favorite thing. When they joined, they've been a member since February 2005. So now we can think this guy might be 50 years old, older guy. He fell for it. How do you fall for this? And as you can see, a horrible like to dislike ratio. And the thread was pretty fired up about this post, I would say. Fried bologna biscuit with I can't believe people like you are real. 89 upvotes to 0 downvotes. That is a perfection of a score of a post right there. The perfect post, really, I've seen people even get up to 300 likes without even being one dislike. That's go territory, but Fried bologna's got to be real happy with that score. So stupid. Get off your web, pop. That's probably true. That's a good point from Hanson P. AI is destroying boomers. We need licensing, certification, some kind of test for internet usage quotas, something. People can say what they want about TigerDroppings. We're really talking about things past LSU sports. We're talking about emerging technologies, guardrails for the older generation in this new internet age. So this is a nuance there. I don't want to hear people shit on TigerDroppings for being a bunch of slop. There are productive conversations going on here. And continue to go on. AI is going to fuck up an already fucked up populace. Now I threw this one in here because classic TigerDroppings thing. A good point was made, right? 35 likes to 0 downvotes. I'm sure he was happy to see that, but classic spelling error. And I've been a victim of this before. You do a great thread, and then immediately there's always someone that says, "Oh, you spelled this wrong." ATL Tiger, who's been a member since 2003, a OG of the board, is quick to quote that and said, "Almost." I think populist, you're supposed to spell it in a different way. I had to look it up. It's confusing. Tiger Drum, I don't blame you, but man, that's another thing. People would jump on your ass the second you make one little mistake. So that's my thread of the week. That was pretty insane. I just wanted to show some of the better threads I found in the last 2 days. Want to keep doing this. These are fun. I think I could find like way better threads, but I just threw this together last second because I needed some content. But hope you guys enjoyed. Go get on TigerDroppings. Let's make it bigger. Let's make it more ridiculous, more crazy. But hope everyone has a good holiday season. I hope you guys enjoyed.